Hello and welcome to another episode of the Portrait Profit Show. How you doing, Lens Legends? My name is Jim Landers, and I am so excited that you're here with me today. I'm your host, your guide on the business side, and it's my mission to uplift portrait photographers to make a great income doing what they love. Each week on the Portrait Profit Show, you get tips and systems on the business side of photography designed to help you gain a mastery over marketing and sales, reducing the struggles that most photographers face so you can finally get what you deserve. This show is for photographers who feel they've got something to learn on the business side. So if that's you, well, you're in the right place. Welcome to the Portrait Profit Show. Portrait Profit Show is brought to you by Digital Pro Lab and Landers Photography School. For Digital Pro Lab, Amanda and her wonderful, amazing team. And let me put that up on the screen just a little bit differently. There we go. They are amazing. And the reason is because the people who they hire are wonderful people who love this stuff, who are career people. They're dedicated to this. They just by default make you look like a hero. And if you haven't tried digitalprolab.com, you need to. Digitalprolab.com. Amanda and her wonderful team are going to take care of you. And of course, Landers Photography School, my company. I teach photography. I've got classes on the business side of photography and photography side. I do spend quite a bit more time nowadays on the business side because, well, people like making an income with their photography. And it is a good income source when it's done right. If you feel like if photography is not ideal, it's not good for you, it's probably because you're not doing it right, but you wouldn't know it because you feel like you're doing that. You're putting in the effort, you're putting in the blood, sweat, and tears. It feels that way because it's true. You are putting in the effort. But if you put in the effort on the wrong road, do you expect to get to where you're going? It doesn't matter how much effort you put in if it's not the right effort. Reach out to me, Jim at landersphotoschool.com, Jim at landersphotoschool.com. Now, I want to encourage you throughout this lesson today to make comments and ask questions. I want you to go to the comment section, and anytime you have a thought or a question, I want you to ask that question. But right now, while you're in that comment section, I want you to do me a favor and enter in hashtag live. This tells me you're watching it right now. And one of the 8 places we're simulcast to, this is on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn and YouTube. For those watching the replay, just enter in hashtag replay. I also ask that you share the Portrait Profit Show. This helps to grow the show, but it also helps to elevate photographers, to make you stronger, to make you better. And when everyone is doing it, it becomes normal for the clients to see that this is normal. You're not just price gouging, because that's not what photographers do, but that is the perception, because probably 80% to 85% are doing it wrong. And when I say wrong, I mean unsustainably. They're doing their work in a way that doesn't sustain a business. Yes, they have reasons, they have excuses, but it doesn't change the fact that it's not sustainable as a business. So share the Portrait Profit Show. Let other people know about this. You know, today we're going to be talking about the things to do before the end of the year. We're at the beginning of December, but as you know, this year is pretty much over. There's 1 month left. You may be very busy right now, but there's not much time left in this year. But there are some things that you really should do. And once I share them with you, you're going to see exactly why, and you're going to be excited about it. Do you know what makes December so special? It's it's not just the Santa sessions. It's not the year-end sales that you may be running. It's a chance, it's an opportunity to pause, to take stock of where you're at, what you've accomplished, and clean the slate to prepare for an amazing next year, 2025. It is time to shake off the old and snap into something new. In this lesson, we're refocusing our attention and well, enhancing our lives. Today's episode is your playbook for ending the year on a high note and stepping into the future with confidence and clarity. These final weeks of 2024 offer a perfect opportunity to prepare for an amazing 2025. Think of it as making time for a strategic pause to clear out what's holding you back and set yourself up for success. Oh, and I have something special for you, for everyone who stays until the end, a tool that will be valuable for your business. I know because I've seen it. But you got to wait till the end to find out what that is. While you're creating beautiful portraits for others, my goal today is to help you take a moment for you. Let's discover how to close out this year with intention, with purpose. I love hearing from you, Lens Legends. I want you to drop your thoughts and questions in the comments as we go along. In fact, I invite you right now to share your end of year rituals, your end of year insights. Tell us what you're thinking, what you do that works. Let's make this a dynamic exchange, setting each other up for success. And hey, if you're excited to learn how a little information or gratitude or whatever that you're going to share with us can grow your business in big ways, drop a yes in the comments right now. Just, I am looking for this. This is what I want. I'm excited about today's topic. Let me know in the comments right now. And if you haven't already, enter in hashtag live. Now, you can see up in the top right corner of your screen that a QR code. And as always, if you would like today's handout with everything you'll be hearing here today, plus more, and I'll send it to your email as a PDF. Now, I do it manually, so it won't be till after the show at this point. But just use your cell phone and get that QR code to take you right to the place where you can get it. And I'll put it up on the screen uh, right at the bottom so you can see that also. You know what? I'll put that up as static so it's not in motion. Let's find that. And there it is. I'll take the motion one off. That way you can actually see it still. You can pause it and write that down if you want the handout. All right. If you haven't already, enter in hashtag live, letting me know that you're here right now. Uh, I'm looking at something that Robert has written. Is there a day that's best for scheduling sessions with you? I need help on the business side. Yes, it's best if uh, send a link for that. I don't have that link handy, but it's actually quite similar to the previous one. But the first thing is just schedule a quick session with me, and let me put that on the screen. I think I have that handy. We'll see, huh? Um, well, I thought it was right here. Doesn't look like it is. So I'm gonna quit looking for it, and uh, man, I really did think it was right here. Hmm. All right, send me an email, Jim at landersphotoschool.com, Jim at landersphotoschool.com, and I'll send you that link. Thanks for asking that question, Robert. All right. All right. Today, we're going to be going over four main topics, four chapters. The first will be reflect and reset. Chapter two is the reset itself. Chapter 3, a fresh mindset. Chapter 4, laying the groundwork to knowing your path. So, chapter 1, your photography business, as you know, is a continuously evolving story. So, let's reflect on what is working and find out what it is that we need to reset. First thing I want to talk about is reviewing the past year, starting off by doing a target market analysis. I want you to reflect on whether your marketing efforts effectively reached your intended audience. Did your messaging resonate with your ideal clients? For many, no, or it could have been better. But understanding this refines your marketing strategies. The next thing is campaign effectiveness. Review those marketing campaigns that you've launched. Which ones brought in the most business? Why did they bring in the most business? These will be guiding your future marketing efforts. The next is analyzing business performance. Look at your key business metrics. How did your business perform financially? What were your most profitable services or products? To make the right decisions going forward, we have to identify what worked. All right. So those are some of the things I want you to pay attention to. The next big thing is reevaluate your pricing. Mm. This is an area that most photographers get wrong, flat out wrong. And it's because you're basing it on what you think things are supposed to be, or how you feel, or a comparison to other photographers. You know what? Your pricing reflects a handful of different things about you, such as the value you provide, the way you want to be perceived in the marketplace, and it reflects who you are and your life goals. So I want you to ask yourself a question. This might be tough, but answer it. Are your current business prices, are your prices right now, are they sustainable for the life that you want to have? Does it provide for growth for your business? Are your current prices sustainable for what you want out of this life? I want you to also ask, do they have the potential to cause you to reach your life goals? If you don't know what your life goals are, well, that's a good place to start. But if you do these prices, do they even have the potential, if you get enough business, to reach your life goals? Because if they don't, you're heading down the wrong road. This is like GPS. I'll refer back to that here in a moment. Consider the cost of your time, your expertise, your resources. A reassessment now sets you up for profitability in the future. Stop it with the excuses of clients won't like it. So what? You're a luxury item. You're not a commodity. If you're paying attention to what other photographers charge to help you with your pricing, there's your red flag saying so clearly you're doing it wrong. Make sure that you understand this. If the clients you have aren't helping you get to where you want to go, then you're on the wrong bus. Besides, what are you doing on a bus? Think about it. If you're on a bus, someone else is deciding the route, the stops, the schedule. Is that really how you want to run your luxury portrait business? Oh, and your business is a luxury. People don't need what it is that you're selling. They'll go on living without it. It's a luxury. If you don't treat it like one, you will fail to make a profit, a strong, sustainable business in photography. You have to have that mindset. You have to be fully aware that what you provide is a luxury. Now, note, I'm talking to portrait photographers, hence the name Portrait Profits, the name of the show. So there are other photography businesses that I wouldn't say this, not the same way anyway, but this is for portrait photographers. You have a luxury item. Would you rather be on the bus or would you rather be in your own car, going in your own direction, where and when you want to go? Of course. With your pricing strategy aligned to your worth, let's look at another aspect of growth. The lessons that 2024 hopefully have taught us. Now, I want to bring something else up. Learning from challenges and celebrating successes. Let's talk about challenges. Every business faces challenges. This is a known thing. I'm not teaching you that. Think about the hurdles you've encountered, not just in the last year, but yeah, focus on those. What lessons have you learned? What lessons did those challenges teach you? Every challenge is a gift because it's an opportunity to grow stronger and smarter. It is the difficult moments that define the depth of your success story. Now let's talk about the successes. Did you reach a new milestone? Launch a new service? I want you to celebrate your victories. It doesn't matter how small they are. Celebrate your victories. You get to define what that means to you, but celebrate every single victory, no matter how small. These successes are a testament to your hard work, to your dedication. Acknowledge them, celebrate them. If you need help with what I've been talking about so far, then I hope you understand I offer private business coaching sessions. So whether you're just starting out or you're fine tuning what you've been doing for a long time, my one on one coaching sessions are going to help bring things together. You know what? Together, we're going to create custom solutions that bring order to chaos and confidence to your workflow. So contact me at jim@landersphotoschool.com, jim@landersphotoschool.com. And if you haven't heard a response from me within 24 hours, I did not receive it. That's what that means. And by the way, that's a good business lesson to know. If you send a message out to someone via email or otherwise, and they don't respond, don't think that or ignoring you. Don't go there. Assume, if you're going to assume anything, that they haven't received it. How many times have you actually received something, but it was during a time when you couldn't do anything about it? Like you were in the middle of a session, maybe they were just changing clothes, and so you wouldn't have had time to respond. And so you're thinking, well, as soon as I'm done, I'm going to respond. But then something else comes along and you forget it completely. But it's no longer marked as unread. So you might forget completely. Is that because you're trying to ghost that person? No. If you're going to assume anything, assume that they never received it. That's just a little business, extra pro tip on the side, not having anything to do with today's particular lesson. I want you to make sure that I want to remind you to click that like button every time you hear something that you like, or click that love button if that's what's appropriate. If I say something funny, hey, there's an emoji for that too. If I say something that bothers you, well, hey, I wouldn't imagine that everything I say is going to make you happy. So there's an emoji for that too. Make sure you click that like button now. And if you haven't already, enter in hashtag live. Let me know that you're here watching live right now, or hashtag replay if you're watching the replay. Chapter 2. The insights and lessons you've gathered over time, those are the building blocks for the strategies that you are in the process of developing. Just like a story that evolves with each chapter, your reflections today are the next chapters of your story. These insights lay the foundation for the narrative of the success that you'll write. But we're going to need to do a couple of things in order to make that happen. That should be done all the time, but especially before going into a new year. clearing the clutter. Now, you probably think of your workspace, and that is what I mean, but I'm not limited to that. There are a lot of things in life that we need to declutter. But let's start off with the physical stuff. Decluttering your physical workspace, your computer desktop. How about your browser tabs? How about your business plan? The goal is to promote clarity of thought. That way, you have fewer variables that impede action. And all of the variables that you do have are helping you along the path that leads you to your ideal life. I want you to make your own personal Santa's list. Santa's list. Write it on a piece of paper. Personal Santa list. Make a list of the things that you wanted to do this year, but have not yet gotten around to. This is an action item. This is a homework assignment. Santa's personal Santa's list. Make a list of the things that you wanted to accomplish this year, but haven't gotten around to just yet. Maybe you will. Maybe at some point. Maybe next year. Maybe you won't. But just make the list. It could be anything, like learning a new photography technique, meeting someone who you think would be beneficial, setting up an appointment to meet with Jim Landers, or even reorganizing your workspace. Once you have your list, I want you to go through it. Read everything off one at a time. It's going to spur some more things. But I also want you to cross off the things that no longer resonate with you and your goals, your values. Remember, this list is what you wanted to accomplish. It doesn't mean you still want to accomplish those things. There will be some that you'll cross off the list. You must let go of the things that don't align with your current path. They hold you back. Then, for the items that still hold value and excitement for you, put a star next to them. Imagine that it's the end of 2025. It's December 31st, 2025, over a year from now. You're looking back at what is today, the coming year. You're looking back at 2025 on December 31st, 2025. What accomplishments would make you smile with pride, having accomplished them in 2025? What would make you think, I am so glad I did that? I want you to circle those items. You may be adding some to your list when you have that as your mindset. That's fine. It's just a list. Right now, I want to help you get a small win by turning intention. We all have intentions, but I want to turn one intention into an action. I want you to pick one of those starred goals, preferably something small, something more manageable. And I want you to accomplish this within the next few weeks before the year ends. And include me, DM me, direct message me, or email me to let me know. I want to celebrate with you. It is these small victories that propel us towards larger success. Next thing I want you to do, again, this is part of your action items. I want you to create a personal mission statement for next year. Now, you probably have, at least I hope you have, a personal mission statement for yourself, for your life. I want you to make a personal mission statement that is specific to 2025, not the details, just the overall mission statement. This is going to be longer than your business's mission statement. It's still going to be relatively short. And it's something that you can look at regularly to realign yourself with your goals, with your intentions. In addition to business, Include things like family, health, friends, travel, a hobby, contributions to the world, your spiritual side. Whatever it is that's important to you, include those things. And that's going to be the reason why it's longer than a business mission statement. Once you have gotten to the point where you're satisfied with it, you might tweak it at some point, but that's fine. I want you to print it out and put it in your workspace. That way you're constantly looking at it. When you are constantly looking at the things that matter to you, you get more of the things that matter to you crossing your path. It works, guys. That was the second thing. Here's the third. I want you to write a letter to yourself today to be opened at the end of next year. Write about your current joys, your current concerns, the goals you've reached, and the goals that you anticipate reaching in 2025, next year. I'm going to give you a mindset shift. Consider creating your own daily affirmations to start each day. Now, I know some of you buy them or get them online, but it could be something like, I create value through my photography and clients recognize it. Something as simple as that. You could write them every single day to be read next year, every single day. The right over the next year, so that would be 2026 when you're reading them. You can do it however you want to, but consider creating your own daily affirmations. Now, this may be something that you're just is part of your normal morning plan. Maybe you do it at the end of the day. But personal affirmations, another thing that keeps you aligned with the path that you want to be on. Set small weekly goals that build confidence and keep you focused, such as improving something specific about your website, creating a special promotion for just key clients, or planning a personal project that makes your heart full. I've got a question for you, and I want you to put the answer in the comment section. What's one lesson you learned this year in business? You might even add, how do you plan or how have you applied it? How do you plan to apply it in the future, or how have you applied it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. That way we can learn from each other's experiences. Is this resonating with you today, guys? You hearing this? Do you think this is beneficial? If so, go to the comment section and just enter in what it is that you're thinking. It could be just as simple as yes. It could be, oh, this is great, Jim. Whatever it is that you want, do that. And of course, there's a handout as always. So use that QR code up there in the top right corner of your screen. That way you can go straight to it. Mhm. Awesome. Looking through the comments. A lot of you here today. I appreciate that. A lot of different locations. Very cool. All right, let's move on to chapter 3. I want to help you with that fresh mindset, but I want to do it on your personal side as well as the business side. We've spent a little bit of time with the business side. So after reflecting on the business side, let's focus on our personal mindset and emotional well being. We're going to do that by clearing out the old mental and emotional clutter so we can create space for new positive energies and ideas. For a moment, I want you to think about the disappointments and the setbacks that you've experienced. Now, I know that's not something you want to think about, but I have a reason for saying this, for asking you to do this. We've all experienced setbacks. We've all experienced disappointments. You may be facing some currently. Yeah, they're part of the journey. They're part of the journey, but they don't have to be our travel companions. So I have an exercise for you. Write them down. Make a list of all the disappointments, all the setbacks that you can think of, even the small ones. Write them all down. Put some thought into it, but write them all down. Now, for some of you, may be just typing it out on the computer. But if you've written them down, after you think you've got them all written down, I want you to take that piece of paper and feed it to the shredder or burn it with a magnifying glass, whatever makes you feel right. Do not keep this list. If you've typed them out on your computer screen, I want you to hit delete. Mhm. I'll tell you in a moment what you get to keep from this, but it isn't this list. You have to let it go. This is a declaration that these setbacks have served their purpose in teaching you. Acknowledge those feelings and then consciously let them go. It's time to release them. As you watch that paper disappear or as you click delete, visualize the space that you've just created for new opportunities. Recognize the strengths and insights you've gained from them. That is what you keep, the strengths and the insights you've gained from them and the space that they used to take up in your life. This is part of what helps to cultivate a positive outlook. While there are many ways to find the positive in your life, I want you to spend a bit of time with two ways. One, an attitude of gratitude. You've heard me say it before. And two, embracing growth and resilience. Let's spend a little time with each one of those. First, attitude of gratitude. Creating an attitude of gratitude involves cultivating a mindset that consistently acknowledges and appreciates the positive aspects of life. This practice not only enhances personal well being, but it also resonates positively in your professional life, especially in creative fields like portrait photography, where interpersonal connections are everything. Let's do a bit of self reflection. List the things that you are grateful for, include personal achievements, your relationships, the impact of your work, and even small everyday pleasures. Create a gratitude journal. Writing reinforces positive thoughts. Dedicate just a few minutes of each day to write down what it is you're thankful for. This could be as simple as a beautiful image you've created, a positive interaction with a client, or progress in your business. You could say something as simple as, I'm grateful for Sarah Jones. I'm just making up the name. I'm grateful for her smile when she saw her images. Aren't we all grateful for that? Express gratitude. Make it a habit to thank the people around you. It strengthens those relationships. It enhances a positive environment. I'd even go so far as posting it on your social media. Share stories or moments that you are grateful for. This not only spreads positivity, but also encourages others to adopt a similar attitude. They want to be like you. Now, you may be thinking, I don't want to be like me. I want to be like somebody else. Hey, somebody looks at you and sees the strength they want. So share that with them. Do you have any idea how good it makes me feel when someone makes a positive post about me on social media? It makes me feel wonderful. It happens, and it happens out of the blue. I don't know that it's coming, and wow, does that make me feel wonderful for that moment. Yes, it's fleeting because you've gotta move on to the next thing, but wow, it just makes you feel good. Do something for those who've done something for you. Now, I want you to shift your perspective when you're facing challenges. Take a moment to find the positive angle. There's a positive in everything, assuming you're open minded. If you're closed minded, you actually won't see the positive angle. But you're not going to progress in life without without some way of finding the positive. So when facing a challenge, take a moment to find the positive angle or angles or some learning opportunity, which is still a positive angle. This mindset transforms obstacles into valuable experiences. I'd like to suggest that maybe you choose to volunteer or give back in some way. Engaging in community service or helping fellow photographers can deepen your sense of gratitude by seeing the positive impact that you make in other people's lives. And I want you to regularly review and reflect, just periodically look back at your gratitude journal or reflect on your journey. Recognize the growth and positive changes that have occurred. It's incredibly uplifting. Remember, gratitude is about finding balance and appreciating the good alongside the difficult. Let's also talk about embracing growth and resilience because personal growth, whether it's picking up a new hobby, reading a book that's maybe outside of your norm, or just taking time off to recharge, we build resilience by nurturing supportive relationships and even just by deliberately taking a moment to step back and breathe. Maybe you make a plan, maybe you sign up for a class. I mean, you've probably watched enough YouTube videos, so take a real class. You know what? Even if it's not related to photography, maybe you join a hiking group, take a stained glass class, sculpture, go watch a play, but plan at least one photography related class in the first quarter of the year. Attending a class expands your skill set and refreshes your creative perspective. You know, in the comments, do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. What's one thing you're grateful for? One thing you're grateful for. And if you don't want to write something about that, then how about share with me a topic that you'd like to spend more time with? I'm not saying necessarily an idea for a future episode of the Portrait Profit Show. I'm talking about you personally. What's one topic, one thought, one direction that you'd like to spend more time with that you really haven't had that opportunity to do, or you just don't have enough time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Learn out the old. It's it isn't just about making space. It's about putting yourself on a path filled with growth, resilience, and positivity. Do you need help finding a place of or getting into that place of growth, resilience, and positivity? Well, my private coaching sessions can help you choose and implement the right tools for your business. Just reach out to me, Jim at landersphotoschool.com. Chapter 4. Moving moving right along in your journey today, let's turn our attention to laying the groundwork for a balanced and thriving business and life. You know a lot buzzwords and they may sound good, but they don't do much to positively affect your world. Things like setting boundaries. You've heard these buzzwords, that buzzword before, or that buzz phrase. And when it comes to setting boundaries, saying no specifically. But here at Portrait Profits, we look at it through a different lens. It's not just about learning to say no, it's about the power of knowing your goals, your path, and what it takes to get there. This is my opinion. You might not share it, but I'm going to share it with you. Learning to say no is not helpful because it's not as much about saying no as it is about knowing where you're going, the path that it takes to get there, what tools to utilize, and your laser focused attention on the destination. No happens not out of feelings, but because you know what to do to reach your goals. Let's talk about the power of knowing and setting boundaries. Boundaries. Those lines that sometimes feel tough to draw, but are needed and for our well-being, for our success. Consider this. When doing it right, every no you utter is a direct result of what you know. You don't say no because you feel like it. You say no when it doesn't further your goal. Knowing where you're headed in your photography business, knowing where you're headed in life, knowing the steps you need to take to get there, the tools you need to use, and knowing the focus required to reach your destination. No is just the byproduct of no. When you truly know your destination, saying no isn't a decision, it's simply a navigation tool. Just like a GPS recalculating when you take a wrong turn. Your inner knowing guides you back to your chosen path. Let's talk about strategic goals, strategic focus on goals. When we're doing it right, we are laser focusing our attention on our goals. Let's say you want to become better known in your area as a photographer or as a very specific niche of photography, whatever it is. Every decision you make, every project you take on should align with that goal. If an opportunity doesn't serve your purpose, your clarity, and your understanding of your path, you know what? Your clarity and understanding of your path are so strong that passing up an opportunity that doesn't align with them is perfectly clear. So no really isn't a decision. It's something that is obvious. So if you're having to make decisions on whether to say yes or no, it might be an indicator that you could do a better job of planning where you want to go in life. I'm going to give you an example. In my family portrait photography business, which I'm not really doing anymore. I mean, if someone reaches out, if a past client reaches out, well, great. But I'm not marketing anymore. I teach full time. But let's just say that I'm talking in present tense because, well, you are experiencing your photography business in present tense. In my portrait photography business, I target a radius of just 10 miles from my location. Now, if you live out in an area that doesn't have a lot of people, that's not an option for you. However, I live in an area that's got at least 2 million people, 2.5 million. So how many of those do I need? How many of those do I have time for? I can't saturate a market of 2.5 million. I don't have that kind of budget. However, I can do a good job with a 10-mile radius of my location. Here's the example I wanted to give you. That was a few years ago. Someone that I know reached out with an amazing deal to advertise at a theater. If it was in my target area, I would have jumped on it. It was a fantastic deal. So imagine the best deal possible. It did cost a little bit, but it was the lowest it could possibly be. But because it was 20 miles away, I said no. Now you may think 20 miles, 10 miles, isn't that close enough? And so what if you get clients who are a little bit further away? A client is a client. You're in business. So take the business where you can get it. On the surface, you wouldn't be wrong. But if you think that was the right thing to do, again, it's a clear indicator that you have some room for improvement on defining what you want out of this life. But that way of thinking will result in problems that only a person with a solid plan would even be able to recognize. When you know exactly where you're going, decisions become crystal clear. If you feel lost, not sure of what you're supposed to do, this is a clear indicator that you have base level improvements to make on what you want in your ideal life, what you want it to be. You can't make the right decisions when you haven't decided where to go. That theater advertising opportunity, it did look golden on the surface. But going beyond my 10-mile radius would mean longer travel times. And in my business model, I traveled for my clients 4 times. The planning session, the session itself, the portrait selection consultation, and the installation 4 times. I would have doubled those drive times. Well, those drive times don't make me any more money. They take away my time. I don't choose things to take away my time. I've got enough time wasters in my life. Don't you? Mm. So that would result in taking up more of my time, higher costs, and you know what? Less availability for the people I say are my ideal clients who are within my 10-mile radius target area. Why would I take something away from the people I say I'm serving? I don't. I wouldn't. I won't. Knowing my strategy made that decision not a decision at all. It was simple. It was obvious. Let's talk about some practical steps to embrace knowing. You do that by defining your goal. Start with a clear vision of what you want in this life. Be specific about your objectives, both in the long term and the short term. Understand your path. Map out the steps that are required to reach each step or each of your goals. And I recommend highly that you create a timeline with the things you want and need to do to reach the life that you want. It's your roadmap, it's your GPS. I want you to identify the tools and resources that are going to help you on this journey to reaching your ideal life. This could range from investing in better equipment to enrolling in business courses. What skills do you need to develop? You know, you don't know everything. So, therefore, you have skills that need to be developed. What kind of network do you need to build? We need people around us that are going to help us make this happen. Several things that we need to do. I want you to maintain focus. You've heard the cliche, keep your eyes on the prize. Regularly remind yourself of your goals by keeping them visible in your environment. That's what I talked about earlier about putting that up on the wall. I recommend that you have your 5 business statements on the wall. I call them the 5 workspace statements. So that is your mission statement, your vision statement, your values statement, your target market, and a description of who you are. how you want to be perceived. Have this in your work environment. That way, you're constantly being influenced by what it is that you want. There's a lot of things that are constantly influencing you. Some of them are wonderful. There's the opposite of that, too. Get on your path with intention, with determination, and a healthy amount of stubbornness. You're not going to get where you want to go if you say yes to everything. I want you to share with me in the comment section a goal or maybe one philosophy that you believe in. What are you guys thinking? Is this helping you? Are you feeling this? I hope you are. By the way, there is quite a bit more in the handout that, based on time, I'm not going to be able to get to. And so use that QR code up in the top right of your screen and get the handout. I'll send it as a PDF after the show. All right. The things that are in here are mentoring and building networks, how to build networks, and community engagement, purposeful networking, and several more things that are in here. So I'm just fast forwarding. By the way, we're almost done. Just the closing thoughts that are left, and then I'll tell you what the topics are, the titles are for the rest of this year, 2024. I want you to go to the comment section and share with me something about what you've learned today, or just send a thank you. I'm recommending that you thank the people who have done things that help you out. Well, hopefully you feel that what I'm doing is in that category. So, yeah, I am saying directly or indirectly, say thank you to the efforts that I'm putting in. I've got some closing thoughts. I hope that you feel that we've covered some life-changing stuff on the Portrait Profit Show today. Setting the stage for not just the end of this year, but also laying a foundation for a future that aligns with your life goals. We started by reflecting on our past, or at least the past year, and extracting the valuable lessons and appreciating our successes. Remember, every experience, whether it's a challenge or a success, a triumph, is a step towards greater wisdom. Then we moved into clearing out the old and embracing a fresh mindset. We talked about the importance of letting go of past disappointments and adopting a positive outlook for mental and emotional readiness. We also focused on the foundational steps of understanding the importance of boundaries and the power of building supportive networks. We covered a lot. The handout covers more. But it's not just about mastering those skills, it's about ensuring that every step is a step towards the life that we are dreaming of. Now, I mentioned that if you stay to the end, I have something special for you. And that is, did I make a slide for it? Nope. I can type it out. That special offer I mentioned at the beginning, in gratitude for your engagement and commitment today, I'm going to dedicate 10 hours of this month, December 2024, to completely free private sessions to the first 20 who use the link and schedule one of 20 30-minute private sessions. Now, again, that is for this month and not the last day of the month, the 31st. I'm not working that day. So it's got to be between today, December 2nd, and December 30th. This is a private session. with one-on-one advice for your photography business. It's 30 minutes. Now, for many of you, that's nowhere near enough. You're going to want more. But for many of you, that may be all you need to get you on the right track. And I'm not charging for it. That's a gift. This is a private session with one-on-one advice on your photography business, whether it's strategizing for growth, aligning your business with your personal goals, or addressing specific challenges. These sessions are tailored for you. It's a substantial commitment from my end because I'm giving back to this wonderful photographer community. Remember, there are only 20 spots available and they are expected to fill up fast. So to claim your session, I want you to visit, and I'm going to just type it in, but it's very similar to the 15-minute uh, one that I guess I didn't show earlier, but I'm going to type this out real quick so that I can share this with you. Let's see, 30 minutes. All right. My gift to you, and that's the address that I want you to go to. That takes you to my calendar so that you can put this on your schedule so you can see my calendar. You know what your calendar is. Find the time that works for you. Schedule that 30-minute session. It's not going to cost you anything. This is a gift because I want to see you succeed. I don't do these shows because I don't want to see you succeed. I do them because I really genuinely want to see you succeed. You can do it. You have within you what it takes to do this. I know it. I've seen it. You can do this. And I'm going to help you. Use that URL and put yourself on my calendar. And and uh, and then we'll meet between now and the end of the month. All right. I want to tell you about what's coming. I'm going to take that off the screen. As you know, this Portrait Profit show happens every single Monday. On the second Monday of each month, we move this show to 6:30 in the evening. And that second show of the month is next Monday. So that will be at 6:30 in the evening. So let's talk about the upcoming shows. On December 9th, 6:30 in the evening, again, because it's the second Monday of the month, we're going to have a panel discussion. This is called How I Close Out the Year. Now, this may be somewhat similar to what I've been talking about the last couple times, but this is not going to be from my point of view. This will be from the panelists' point of view. So you get to have different points of view. Very beneficial. And so that is what's coming up in 1 week from today. 6:30 in the evening, not at noon, 6:30 in the evening. It's the second one of the month. And then 1 week after that, it's the top 5 strategies for explosive growth in 2025. 2025, this is the year of transformation with new technology, evolving trends, and an audience more eager than ever for authentic connection. There has never been a better time to scale your photography business. We're going to uncover the top 5 cutting edge strategies that make 2025 the perfect moment to take your business further than you've ever imagined. 1 week after that, 2 days before Christmas, we're going to be talking about the last minute review of your 2025 plan. Hopefully, you've got a plan for 2025, but hey, if you don't, you have time. You just have to make it. But we're going to be talking about the last minute review of your 2025 plan so that you can be prepared. So, between the last several episodes, you're going to be able to come up with a good plan for 2025. Let's review that on December 23rd. And on December 30th, the last show of 2024. This is the photographer's task list for January 1st. Something you do every year on January 1st. As the clock strikes midnight and a new year begins, it brings with it the perfect opportunity for reflection, renewal, and a fresh start. It's just the right time to reset, reorganize, and set the tone for a productive and successful year ahead. What to do on the first day of 2025. Put that on your calendar. That way you don't forget. I really appreciate you guys being here today. Thank you, Lens Legends. I appreciate you joining me. I appreciate you wanting to make yourself better than you were yesterday. If you have found value in this lesson, click that like button, click the love button, share this show, and join us next week at 6:30 in the evening for the next Portrait Profits live stream. Remember, you're not just making beautiful images, you're making an impact, and you're touching lives in ways that you might not ever even know. I hope today's discussion has given you new ideas and strategies to strengthen your business and your life. And I want to remind you that you are part of an amazing community of photographers who support each other, learn together, grow together. Keep letting your unique vision shine through, guys. That way you're making the world a more beautiful place, one portrait at a time. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being such an incredible portrait photographer. I look forward to seeing you next week. For Landers Photography School and Digital Pro Lab, my name is Jim Landers, and I'm bringing you the weekly Portrait Profits Show. Until I see you next week, Lens Legends, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep making your long-lasting mark in the world. I look forward to watching you grow. You guys rock. You are amazing. I appreciate you. Bye for now.